All right, let's continue on and do a layout based on our storyboard panels here. So we've got panel 1, hey Scoob. Panel 2, look over there, turns his head and points. Scooby stays here just looking straight ahead. So to do this, what we need is a blank sheet of paper. There are model sheets that we download from the internet so that we know exactly how to draw the characters. Shaggy models. Lineup of the gang. And so we keep this to the side. And let's start doing the layout. This layout will be 8 field center, which is about here. And we try to use the same proportions as the storyboard panel there, which is almost 16 by 9, not quite. Center is here. TV cutoff goes like this. And so what we are doing in layout is enlarging the storyboard panel to show the animators where to start, stop, show background, what they have to paint, show animation where they are starting from and going to. It can be very complicated and technical, but it also needs to be something that has feeling and heart to it. So let's rough in where the characters are. And we have Scooby will be basically over here, and Shaggy will be here. In layout, all the things in storyboard that are approximations need to be nailed down more exact, because this is the next step before it goes to animation. And animation and assist will make it look exactly right, but layout needs to get it to look very close to what's going to be on screen. Try to draw the entire figure there, get things to look just right. Looks like I need to extend his face down even further. Comes down like this, and then goes up. And he's looking straight ahead like that. His eyes here, eyebrows, which are mostly covered by his hair. And then let's rough in where his arms are. He's got very long arms, like that. very baggy shirt, so it actually comes out like this. And this one will go bell out like that. And let's check our Scooby and Shaggy model size. Scooby's head, when he's sitting, and he's a little bit to Shaggy's right. Let's move him over about here. And his ear comes up like that. And Scooby's eyes are towards the top of his head like this. So his eyebrows are right at the top like that. And we look at his model sheet so we can get an idea as to what his muzzle looks like. This one comes way down like that. And then it can go up like that. And then this comes here. This line goes right down practically to Shaggy's waist. That's where his collar is. And then his back. So he gets cut off by the field cutoff there. And continue down. Now you can draw straight on through Shaggy and say, well, we may as well show where his hand is going to be. So let's just continue his arm down like that. And his shirt comes down here. This arm comes down like this. Now, the reason we do this is that at some point when you're doing these drawings, you may say, well, you know, it might be better if we extend the field out a little bit. So by drawing the entire thing on one sheet, including the mystery machine, which would be back here, like this, perspective lines on it go across like that, just like we did in the storyboard. The mystery machine is a little bit behind them, so its wheel would be like here, tire here, because the perspective on that goes that way. So at some point, somebody may come along and say, you know, let's widen the field out. So they may want to take it out one field. Instead of being 8 field center, they want it to be, let's say, 9 field center, which pushes your TV safe line up here and over here and down here and here, which we can do like this. And our outer bounds are about here. So that would be how we would rough all this in, and we could then show it to the director and say, look, is this okay? And he can say, well, yeah, that should be fine. As you're doing your tie down, you want to make sure that you get costuming just right and everything else. So get this baggy shirt on this guy like this. This is a slightly darker blue pencil I'm using. And I draw the entire figure if I can, if I have paper for it. And let's see if we can get his face to be Shaggy face. This big thing of hair on top here. And it goes back like that. Looks like it slants here and then just hangs. There's a lot of it back there. And then it shags down here, goes up. And his eyebrow can be up high like that. And he has one line underneath his eye like that. And swing the nose out here. And his dialogue is, "Hey, Scoob, look over there." And that'll be the second pose. This actually just comes down like that. And then for Scooby, let's darken in a little bit on him. Take a look at our model sheet there. And his eyes, we can exaggerate the size a little bit. His eyes, it turns out, are not perfect circles. So as you see, as you go through your drawing, you make corrections on it because you drew it in light blue. So it's okay to go over it in a dark blue and make little changes here and there that need to be done. So his collar hangs down like this, goes around his neck. And of course there's the tag that says SD on it. So that whenever Scooby is unsure of who he is, he can just look down at his tag and say, "Oh, I'm Scooby." And then if we want to rough in on this drawing, what Shaggy does, we've kind of darkened it in too much, but the next drawing on top, let's take a blank sheet here and put it on top. I guess you guys can see through that. And he has to turn his head. So let us figure out how he would turn his head. He would probably move his body a little bit as he turns his head. He swings his head over so his chin would be there. top of his head here. Still connects to his neck. His body moves just a little bit as he turns. And his arm has to go up. We see his elbow there, so let's bring his arm up like this. And he points. And let's roughen his features here. Let's get the eye just right. His eyes are separated by his nose. So once again, I'm drawing through the character. And his beard hair would be here. There's his ear, just where his neck connects to his head. And then let's get that hair just right. Just 1, 2, like that. Another one here. Big amount of shaggy hair behind him, like that. Big shag of hair going down like that. Piece goes over here. That one comes right down from there. And then we can start going over that in a little bit darker blue. This is what happens when you use very, very thin paper. I'll have to break out the slightly heavier paper for the next lesson. And just to make sure we see the eyes, we can darken those in with this darker blue pencil here. This is a Faber-Castell. And then for Scooby, usually what we do is we just do an outline of him. And it's just a rough outline like that. We might put in a tiny bit there. And we write same as, indicating that he's staying still. Here's our rough field. And Mystery Machine back here. And then on this one, we would write his dialogue. We'd write, this might be S1. And this could be S2. And he says, look over there. And that is how you do character layout for Shaggy and Scooby. Now, your next step after this, if needed, if you're animating this, this is all you need. If you're sending this to someone else, you might want to go over this yet again with black pencil just to tie it down exactly on model, but still keep it looking alive so the animator has some lively drawings to work from. But that is the basis of character layout. So we'll see you next time when we do some different characters doing layout.